Absolutely. And to add to that is none of us is perfect, right? All of us are keep getting better by the day. So if we hold so solidly to an idol, saying this is who I am, this is who I am, this is who I am, I mean, you're not going to be the better for it, right? Yes, this is who I am, but I want to be the highest, the fullest, the greatest version of all God has created me to be, right? And, for us to get more, we have to be more. If we don't change, we cannot be more. If you're holding on to your past or to your present, then you cannot, your cup, you don't have any empty cup for God to fill, because only the cup that you bring to God that God will fill. And that cup needs to always be emptied, right? To say, this is who I am, but I want more. I want to be better. I want to grow, right? I want to be a vessel that is open so that I can be able to handle the things that are in my future, you know? And that's critical. That's important, I have changed as a person, I'm not the same person today I was January 1st this year. I'm not going to be the same person by the end of this month. There's so much going on in my life, and I'm just allowing God to do his thing, but you have to because the things are in your future, your present self cannot handle. Your present self cannot handle the things that are in your future. So you need to be willing to become the person that can handle the greatness that's in your future. Because if you don't become the person that can handle it, then it will not come your way. You will not have it. Because it's only the person that can handle it that will have it. So that's important. Yeah. So he talks about the fact that there's a need to be spontaneous. He says if you're going to be authentic and be vulnerable, then the way to handle it is be ready to be spontaneous. And key word here is the fact that you can only be truly authentic and vulnerable to the extent to which you are prepared. The extent to which you're prepared is the extent to which you can be spontaneous, right? For instance, all this discussion we are having right now is not part of the plan. I didn't plan to have this discussion. But it's easy for us to do all of this and go away from whatever the plan was because of who we are, how much we've prepared. It takes a bit of maturity to be able to handle those questions and talk on these topics, right? But if you're not prepared and you don't know it, going off what you have planned, you become shaky, right? So it's all part of preparation also, making use of every opportunity to be ready for the thing that you're doing. Like I shared so often that, for me, it's every message, everything I do, I try to become. I put into my person, I try to become that thing, right? Because everything we're having right now is preparing me for the next message I'm going to give. Right, I'm going to be teaching tomorrow. Who knows? I'm going to be talking about some of this things we're saying right now. So everything I get to do is all connected, right? Nothing stays away. What I'm going to teach tomorrow will probably help me what I'll teach the next day up to next Sunday, But it's living in the moment and making the best of everything that you get to do, right? So that helps, right? You can only be spontaneous to the extent to which you are matured, prepared, knowledgeable, and skillful in the thing that you're doing. Going straight to and here, with what you do, you probably have a phone call that might be different from all other phone calls. It will either take you off balance or not, depending on how much you're building expertise in what you're doing, right?
All the time, all the time.
All the time, all the time. And the more of those incidents that you get, and you handle it, and you go and learn, maybe check one or two things, the better you are. When the next one comes, you are better at handling the next one than the first time it happened, And that's just the way we all need to just have a learning mindset, teachable learning mindset to help us grow. And here he's talking about voicing validation, and he says, there's a need to have a balance between authenticity and spontaneity. And just saying the same thing I've said all the while, just because if you're not prepared, it could throw you off balance. Also, you need to also be able to carry the audience along. Each time you're ministering, you are getting communication from your audience, right? You cannot preach a message that is divergent from where they are. Say, for instance, there's just been an hurricane in that area, and you came and preach a message and did not mention anything about the hurricane, the pain they are going through. They are not going to listen to you. First of all, they will have the mind that you don't care. That we are talking about hellfire when we are yet, our homes are damaged, we are looking for how to get money. You need to relate with people where they are, relate with them and let them have a sense of belonging. Because until you relate with them and meet them where they are not going to follow you to wherever you want to take them to. Right? So each time you're communicating, you need to come down to where people are. And once they receive you, then they can follow you to wherever it is. Each time I make a phone call, almost unconsciously, I get to joke with the person, call the person's name, that kind of breaks the ice. It makes whatever comes next easier to communicate than me just making a phone call and going straight to the reason why I call. But we all will have different ways of doing it. But you need to be able to relate to the person where the person is before the person can listen to you and go where you want to take the person to. It's like that Stephen Covey would say, and I think that's the second, is that the second or the third principle, habits of highly effective people. It says, seek first to understand before you are understood. Seek first to be in the place, the sphere where your listeners are, and be accepted there before you want them now to understand you, and you take them to wherever it is that you want to take them to. Right?